All right, real quick, I want to get to this because this shit is getting close to the end of the trial. People was thinking that Zimmerman is gonna beat the shit, and manslaughter is even far fetched, let alone second degree. I'm saying that motherfucker needs to be charged with first degree murder. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is real quick. I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. I'm gonna post this, but I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put some thought into it. I'm gonna show you exactly everything, right? Now, all the evidence aside, let's get to the actual part where the shit goes down. See, what everybody is lacking is common sense in this shit. It's like all these smart ass people comment on this shit and they ain't got no fucking common sense. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not prejudiced. I say nigga, I white boy, my Mexican partner, this, that. I say all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, it ain't no big ass fucking deal. I don't just hate white people in general, or Mexicans or Filipinos. I don't hate them. Like, I got friends in all kind of races and shit. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Some of my best friends in every race. You know what I'm saying? They talk shit about black people. I talk shit about white people. I mean, it's just all in fun. You know what I'm saying? But people do different shit. But anyway, what I'm saying is this. Okay, the actual incident. George Zimmerman has a confrontation with Trayvon Martin. Boom. Right there in the dark. Just those two. Now, however it happens, they get on the ground. When they're on the ground, George Zimmerman says, and you could tell how he's bullshitting around in that interview when he's standing right there, talking about how he was getting his head hit against the concrete, which means that his head is on the concrete, his feet are towards the house. This side, whatever side, his head's on the concrete, his feet are towards the home. Trayvon Martin, if his knees are on the ground, if he's straddling George Zimmerman, if his knees are on the ground, and everybody knows from wrestling as a kid or however, if you have your knees on the ground, on top, and you're sitting on someone's stomach with your knees on the ground, your knees are on their sides. You understand? Your knees are on their sides. You're sitting on their stomach, and you're sitting on their stomach, and you're sitting on, and you have your knees on their side. Not once has this man said that he was sitting on his stomach and he couldn't breathe, and from that, it was all about the punching of the head. You know what I'm saying? He's slamming his head on this. He didn't say that he was standing up over him and he had him, because if he was standing up over him, he could have slid right underneath his legs and turned himself over and all this stuff. So obviously, if he couldn't get away and he was getting his head slammed on the ground, Trayvon Martin had to be sitting on his stomach. He never mentioned anything about how he couldn't breathe from him sitting on his stomach and all that stuff. Okay. But if he's sitting on his stomach and he has his knees on the ground, his knees would be on his side, which would mean when he says he slid down to get away from the concrete, as he slides down, Trayvon Martin doesn't slide down because his knees are on the ground. So he slides down, which further puts his hip and his gun further away from the Trayvon sitting on his stomach. So now Trayvon is on his chest, which has his legs covering his side. So now George Zimmerman has to get under his leg, under Trayvon's leg, to get to his gun. You know what I'm saying? And then come around, and Trayvon would be on top of him. He wouldn't be able to stop his hand or anything like that. It's not right. If you try it at home with your wife or whoever, sit on their stomach and have your knees on their side and put something on their side and see if they can get it out. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be extremely difficult for them to get it out. Now, if Trayvon was on the ground in between his legs, now that means that the pressure is not on his stomach. Trayvon is not on his stomach. So that's why he didn't talk about him being on his stomach and how he couldn't breathe. Because Trayvon was between his legs in a missionary style position. Now, as he's on the ground in a missionary style position, this man has taken MMA classes. It is not motherfucking gnat just fly. It is not bad to be on your back when you're fighting MMA style. That's a fighting style. They like to be on their back and scoot the people away, whatever. You can grab somebody in different, submission holds. Trayvon Martin is between his legs. George Zimmerman has him around his waist with his legs. It's the natural position. When somebody's in between your legs, you're gonna squeeze them. Which everyone does that. He's not just gonna lay there like he's getting fucked. Like Trayvon is fucking him and he just got his legs wide open and shit. He's just laying there letting him hit his head against him. No, he's squeezing him with his legs. So Trayvon Martin is screaming, trying to push his legs off of him, trying to get his legs off of him. You understand? So as he's screaming, George Zimmerman, knowing how the shit is going, he's going, help, shit like that. But Trayvon is screaming, and George Zimmerman is screaming too. He's saying help, because he knows that he needs to say this in order for his self-defense shit to come to fruition. So as he's squeezing him, Trayvon's going, help, getting squeezed. I mean, he's not saying help. Trayvon's not saying help. He's going, and he's trying to get this dude up off of him, push his knees, unlock his legs from up off of him. If he might have hit him that one time and his head hit the concrete, he hit him one time, like, let me go hit him. You know what I'm saying? His head hit the concrete. That made him extra mad. That made him squeeze tighter. So now he's, get off of me. You know what I'm saying? He's telling him, get off of me, and he's trying to push them legs down. That's when George Zimmerman had access to his gun. And when he had access to his gun, because Trayvon Martin is in between his legs, so now he has easy access to his gun. Boom, he pulls his gun out. And while Trayvon Martin's hands are trying to get his knees off, as he's trying to get his legs off of him, he's able to reach up and shoot him. He knew all this shit, man. Everybody knows this shit. Everybody visualize this shit, man. Motherfucker, this shit is on movies and TV and all that. Motherfuckers visualize this shit, doing this shit, and he had an opportunity. He wanted to kill one of them motherfuckers that had been breaking into houses. The only difference was Trayvon Martin wasn't one of them dudes. If you had somebody in your neighborhood that been breaking in houses and doing shit, you would want to catch their ass. You would want to fuck them up, especially if they came in your house. You know what I'm saying? People will take that shit to different degrees. Me, for example, I catch a motherfucker breaking, some motherfucker been breaking in these houses around here and shit. You know what I'm saying? If I catch a motherfucker in my house, I'm going to kill him. But I'm not going to hunt around. I'm not going to circle around the motherfucking neighborhood looking for the motherfucker and then try to provoke a fight and kill him outside. I'm not going to do that. I'm not, But if the opportunity happened or some shit like that, I would know how to back off of that situation. If I went out and looking for that person, I would know how to get out of that situation with a gun on me. You know what I'm saying? I could see this shit happening and about to become something, and I would know how to back out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Even if I want to reach, like, motherfucker, you better get, you better move, you know what I'm saying, and put my hand on my gun just like the police. Man, y'all better, and let him know that I do have a gun. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to try to be this aggressor or some shit, if he's drunk and belligerent, Trayvon wasn't drunk and belligerent, first off. You know what I'm saying? We already know this. If the nigga smoke a little weed, if he had a little doobie or something, did he smoke? He had been there for 7 days. The nigga damn near he didn't have no weed. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't find none. He had a lighter. You know what I'm saying? So if he had a doobie or something, he might have had that. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have nothing else. Then he didn't buy no blunt at the store to roll up nothing. So he didn't have no weed. And then weed don't make you do all that shit, as people try to say. You know what I'm saying? Drunk shit make you do that. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, man, this is just a little short part. I'm going to redo this shit again. I'm going to be saying the same shit over again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? When I do this shit again. But, man, y'all think about this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is getting close, and they trying to let this motherfucker go free, man. They need to charge this motherfucker with first-degree murder. Fuck that shit. He planned that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he did that shit. He was raw for that shit. He did that. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it. You know what I mean? But the motherfucker is guilty, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.